Welcome to episode 11 of Mixed Box 11 of My Media Museum's 45 RPM vinyl records collection. And we've reached the point where we're going to have a lot of 50s and 60s pop music in the next, 4 or 5 episodes. And we're starting off here with 16 Candles by The Crest, which was a popular song long before it got turned into a movie with Molly Ringwald. And the B-side of this one is Trouble in Paradise. Also a song by The Crest, but not one that I'm as familiar with as 16 Candles. The next one, I kind of sort of wanted to start this episode off with this one. Bill Haley and Rock Around the Clock. But as you can see, it's one of that silver on dark that the MCA did that I really didn't appreciate. It's hard to see, hard to film, and this is clearly not an original. This says originally released by Decca, 1954, I think it says, 5/10/54. I can't see that too well. Maybe you can make it out. But I do have an original of this somewhere, and the 13 women and only one man in town. What a lucky guy, huh? You can read that a little better if I get in there light. 13 women and only one man in town. Bill Haley and the Comets. So, yeah, like I said, I do have an original of Rock Around the Clock tonight. That was used as the Happy Days theme song in the very first season. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. Before they did the Monday, Tuesday, Happy Days, which started in the second season, by the way. Here you'll notice this is a Collectibles. The bulk of these are reissues. A lot of these we're going to run into at some point here. I had a stack where the A's and B's were different artists on practically every one. So this one I don't think is the case. We got Chuck Berry doing Run, Run, Rudolph. Really cool Christmas song. I should gather a lot of those together and do a Christmas themed episode. Seeing how my Christmas attempted episode this year got some thumbs down and wasn't generally well received. I was trying to do something fun and different, but so what? I should actually go through and collect up a bunch of the Christmas ones that I've already previously filmed and do a Christmas episode. But anyways, Merry Christmas Baby being the B-side of this one, clearly marked as the B. Reissue on Collectibles, which we discussed many times, was catered towards the jukebox market. But double Christmas episode from Chucky there. Next up, we got Ben E. King doing Stand By Me, whoa, stand by me. And you'll notice this is a promotion copy, not for sale, from 1986. So this was clearly promoting the movie, and it even says original motion picture soundtrack, Stand By Me. But this song goes way back before that. They're saying it hit number 4 in May of 61, and it hit number 9 in November of 86. And that would clearly be because of the song being used in a movie and titled Stand By Me, which was unusual for Stephen King. Wrote Stand By Me, and it was definitely out of his genre and something different, and it was a great film. So Stephen King's written a lot of really interesting things, good things that you might not know he was associated with. Shawshank Redemption being another one. But anyways, the B-side is again Stand By Me. This one's noted as being stereo. So is this one. 255 and 255. So we've got a double A-side here. There's nothing different between the two sides from what I can tell. A promo release of it, but boy is it in nice condition. Looks like it was made yesterday. That should sound really good. So here we go with the Atlantic older series, and Splish Splash, I was taking a bath. I kind of call this a novelty song, but I guess it's bubblegum. It says June of 1958. It hit number 3. If I'd had to guess, I'd have said early 60s, but yeah, late 50s is believable. 1958. I do have an original copy of this, and I believe it's already been filmed and put up on the channel at one point. But here's an Oldies Series reissue, and on the B side of it, we got Queen of the Hop, which hit number 9 in October of 1958. So, not a song of his that I'm as familiar with, but I do know it. I'm pretty familiar with that song as well. So, a double hit Bobby Darin Atlantic Oldies Series reissue there for you. So, next up, we got a number 1 hit on a collectible. Dion with Runaround Sue. I keep away from Runaround Sue. Oh. Yeah, and that year there is definitely not accurate. I can't tell if it's 75, 68. I think it says 78. My eyes ain't so great. Yeah, that definitely is not the year that song originally came out. And the B-side's interesting because it's Dion and the Belmonts, not just Dion, and I wonder why. Saying that hit number 22 in May of 58, so that could quite probably be a song that I might recognize, but I definitely know Run Around Sue. I keep away from Run Around Sue. And next up, Chantilly Lace and a Pretty Face and Big Bopper. Now I do have an original copy of this one in the stack somewhere, but this is clearly a celebrity series. Says it hit number 6 again in 1958. Looks like it's saying August of 58, hit number 6. But Chantilly Lace and a Pretty Face, and you may or may not be real familiar with The Day the Music Died, Don McLean's Bye Bye Miss American Pie. The Day the Music Died was the day that Richie Havens, Big Bopper, and I believe there was Buddy Holly all died in a crash. That was a sad, sad day. That's why they call it The Day the Music Died. But the Big Bopper, his career ended due to that tragic event. So, Big Bopper's Wedding being the B-side on this Celebrity Series reissue. I'm not so familiar with that song. I don't know that song so well, but I definitely do know Chantilly Lace and a Pretty Face. And what's interesting is we were just talking about American Pie, and there it is. Don McLean's Bye Bye Miss American Pie. And you'll notice it says part 1 on there, running 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Hit number 1 in December of 1971, but I think a lot of the radio stations weren't bothering with this 45. Now, I do have reissues of the 45 that have the entire song on one side, but when it was originally released, when it first came out, this was it right here. It was broken into 2 parts, running on 2 different sides of the vinyl, and that's the way it was. If you wanted to hear the whole song, yep, you had to flip it over in the middle of it. So, next up, we've got one that I'm not real familiar with. It's another one I might know if I heard it, but the Box Tops doing Cry Like a Baby. Hit number 2 in March of 1968. So I like that label though, that Spear Sound Records with the, and you'll notice the arrows are going the wrong way. These arrows are going the right way. It's kind of funny how it's got the arrows because it's going to spin this way. So I don't know what the point of these arrows are. Unless you want to play it backwards, because you know there was all that controversy about backmasking and stuff, and people destroying needles, trying to spin albums backwards. But Fields of Clover being on the B side. Me personally, when I want to check out some backmasking, I flipped spools on a cassette tape and played it. Don't know if you know that trick, but there's a way to take a cassette tape apart, flip the spools, and you can actually listen to it backwards. It is doable and much less damaging to your equipment than spinning an album backwards on a needle. So Anywho, nowadays it's all digital. You can just load it up and invert it and listen to anything you want to backwards in seconds. So that's definitely the way to do it these days. But yeah, back in the 70s when they first started talking about backmasking, might even go back to the late 60s because, you know, the Beatles were actually doing a lot of it, admittingly doing a lot of backmasking. But anyways, you know what happens if you play your country and western 45s backwards? You sober up, your dog comes back to life, and your wife leaves her boyfriend. Oh, I was saving that joke for the next country and western video, but I don't know. It just seemed like an appropriate time to throw that one out there. I didn't write that. I heard that from somewhere else, but it is funny. Bobby Goldsberg doing Little Things, which, according to the notes here, says it hit number 8 or number 13 on the charts. They've got some stuff scribbled out back February 20th, 1965. So, B-side of this is a song called I Can't Go On Pretending. But Little Things is the one that's noted on the little taggy here as having been the hit. So we're going to have to go on faith and believe them that that's the case. So nice little Atlantic older series sleeve here. A nice bright red. And we've got the Marquis doing Last Night. And I do think I might know that song. Hit number 3 in July of 61. So it's probably one. Originally on Stax Records. So here's a case where, you know, they got license from a larger distribution company to reissue. But the B-side, still the Marquis doing Philly Dog. Very interesting. So I hope you liked part 11. And come back and join us again for part 12. Thumbs up's always appreciated. And if you really love us, subscribe so you won't miss any of the updates. So, have a great day. Hope to see you again another time.